Hi, I'm Liz, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do this very cute and very simple goth makeup just for every day. If you want to see how I did this, keep watching.
So the most important step is you got to start off with a clean face. I've already cleaned and moisturized, and I've held my hair back so that it's out of the way. And then I start with a primer. I use a green color correcting primer all over my face. This one is by Makeup Revolution, but you can use any primer you have. I just use a green one because I have a lot of redness in my face. And I just kind of dot that all over my face, and especially in areas that are like super red, and then I just blend it out with my hands. I use a separate primer for my eyes just because that's what I prefer, because my eye area doesn't really have any redness. This one is just like the Ulta Beauty store brand. I think it's like their coconut primer or something. And I accidentally dotted a little bit of it on my cheeks, so you kind of saw me wipe it off and then place it all over my eye area. Just, enough to get a decent base down. Now, normally I don't start with my eyes, I do my base first, but today I'm starting with my eyes. This is the Morphe and Jeffree Star palette, and the reason I'm starting with my eyes today is because I am using darker colors, and whenever I do my base, if I have any fallout, I can just cover it up. So we're going to start out with a color that's similar to my skin tone. I think this is the shade Lynn. And I just kind of pack that all over my eye to set the primer. I mean, that's pretty much the only purpose for it. It's just like a nice base color. Alright, next we're going to go in with the gray shade, which is Vroom Vroom. And I'm taking a little bit of a smaller, flat, fluffy brush and just packing that into my crease and kind of blending it upward a little bit. I also put it a little bit on my outer corner and kind of blend that out. You just kind of want to smoke it out a little bit. And then for some extra blending, I also take a little bit more of that skin tone color, Lynn, and I kind of blend it into the gray and just kind of smoke it out. And you don't have to use a specific brand of eyeshadow or anything, just whatever eyeshadow you have that has a nice gray and a nice black color, that's all you really need. Also, I apologize for the camera angle. I know it's awful. Hopefully next time I do a video, I will be able to get a better camera angle. I literally didn't realize how bad this was until after I had finished filming, and by that point I was just like, well, it's too late now. Might as well go ahead. Also, if you can hear rain in the background, it's because it's storming outside my house right now. Very lovely weather. swear to God, sometimes it takes like 1,000,001 years to blend. But, you know, whatever works. As long as it just looks flawless at the end, that's all that's important. And that's just me checking my reflection, obviously. Next, we're going to take like a small detail brush and the black color in the palette. I cannot for the life of me remember what the name of it is, but I'm just packing it onto the outer corner of my eye and a little bit into the crease, like maybe a third of the way, so not too far, just enough that whenever I go and blend it out, it'll all blend nicely. Now I tend to go for like a really dramatic look with my eyes, so if you don't want that dramatic of an eye look, you can always use like a darker brown and a more neutral gray rather than black and this deep gray that I'm using. And then we go back in with the gray and we just blend in the black and the gray like that, so that it all looks seamless and there's not like any weird lines in it. Next, we do eyeliner. I'm using the Morphe Black Gel Liner because right now that's my favorite one, and I'm just taking like a really tiny brush. I think that's actually a lip brush, and I kind of actually skipped over the part where I did my liner and skipped straight to the mascara because I realized I was completely out of the frame for my eyeliner, which sucked. But anyway, so the mascara is the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and I'm just kind of like getting that onto my eyelashes, and I did a couple of coats. I kind of wiggle the applicator while I'm applying it to my eyelashes so that it separates my eyelashes while it's coating them with mascara, because I tend to prefer the separated look. Some people like to group their eyelashes together, and that's perfectly fine, but that's just not for me. Also, you'll notice that I straight up didn't bother to do my eyebrows. I almost never do, but if you do, I would suggest to do that before you do your eyeshadow, because, you know, it might wreck it if you try to do it after. And next, we're just going back into the palette, and I'm taking that really nice shimmery white shade as a highlight for my inner corner and on my brow bone, because, again, I like dramatic looks, and light and dark together just really does it for me. I feel like it does that for everybody, but, you know. Also, I just like to be shiny. if I could be made of glitter, that would just, I could die happy. I'm not even gonna lie. And that weird face was probably me realizing that my camera angle was off. And next we're gonna do foundation. I use the BH Cosmetics Naturally Flawless foundation. This is their lightest shade because I'm basically a ghost. And I just take a dampened beauty sponge. I actually bought this at Walmart, and I dot the foundation all over my face. I really like sponges with like the wedge tip at the end because I feel like it's perfect for like blending large areas at the bottom, and at the top you can like get into really tight spaces on your face with the wedge, which is really nice. And next I'm just kind of using a stippling movement to blend my foundation out. Honestly, blending is what takes me the longest to do my makeup because I want to make it look like my face. Like, obviously, you know there's makeup on my face, but I want it to look as natural as possible as far as like the foundation and stuff. I tend to spend the longest amount of time on my foundation and concealer because I do have issues with acne and I have a lot of acne scars. So I do spend quite a bit of time trying to correct those spots and like cover them up. As I'm recording this audio, I got a notification from my phone that I missed a call from potential spam, so that's nice. It's probably a scammer telling me that they can help me pay my student loans, which I don't have, so thank you for that. Next, we're going in with concealer. This is also BH Cosmetics. It's their, I think the line is called Studio Pro. I'd have to check. Honestly, I know from my Instagram it looks like I memorize the names of all of my makeup products, but I really don't. I just look at my products whenever I'm making my posts. I'm not even gonna lie. But anyway, so I just kind of put that under my eyes and on areas where I have a lot of redness and acne for extra coverage. This is actually a very thick, very full coverage concealer, so if you prefer like a more full coverage look, I would go for this concealer definitely. The foundation I'm using is supposedly medium to full coverage, but really it's more of a light to medium, which I prefer because it does kind of let the skin breathe a bit more, and I only really need full coverage on areas that look awful, like my acne. Also, this concealer does have like a little bit more of a yellow undertone than my actual skin, so I do kind of like blend it out as much as I can so that my skin doesn't look patchy, basically. And now I'm just checking my reflection again to make sure I didn't miss any spots. Because I'm a perfectionist and that's what I do. And I just wanna... This has nothing to do with makeup, but I feel like you guys should know it's actually, like, kind of stressful being a perfectionist. Don't joke about it on the internet. I joke about it because it's part of my mental illness, and I make jokes about my mental illness to distract from the fact that it's actually quite crippling. I know you guys are sitting there at home wondering, when will this bitch ever stop blending? And the answer is never, sorry. That's just the entire rest of the video. It's just me blending out my concealer. Might as well stop now. Also, apologies to my partner Jacob and to all my friends because my septum ring is destroyed during this entire video, and not destroyed, I mean like crooked. But anyway, on to setting powder. This is also Makeup Revolution. It's their Makeup Revolution, it's their Revolution Pro translucent setting powder, and I'm just putting it on the areas where I have a lot of concealer. And that's like all I do with this setting powder. I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focus translucent setting powder for the rest of my face, just because I feel like it's a lot lighter and I don't need like a heavier powder on areas that aren't as heavy coverage. And I just take like a big fluffy brush and blend it all out. Next, I'm going in with highlighter. This is also Makeup Revolution. I think you guys are probably starting to see a pattern now with the brands I prefer, and I'm just taking like a nice fan brush and some setting spray. And what I like to do is spray my brush with setting spray before I do highlighter if I'm using a powder highlighter, because it helps the highlighter to stick to the brush better. And whenever it transfers onto my face, it gets a lot more on my face and makes it brighter and more of like a pop on my face, which I like. I have made the joke before in real life that if people on the International Space Station can't see my highlight, it's not bright enough. And honestly, that's just how I live my life every day. And now I'm going back in with my eyeshadows, and I'm taking that gray on a small brush. And we are going to place it right up under the eye. We're going to take it about 2/3 of the way in under my lower lash line and just kind of blend that out. Next, we're going in with the black, and we're just gonna put a teeny tiny bit in the lower lash line, like the bottom, like at the very outside of the lash line, and just kind of blend it out a little bit. I know, guys, I'm like great with describing things. It's definitely one of my talents. And what you do now is just keep blending until your hand falls off and you die. I'm so fabulous, can't you tell? And next, we're just taking that beauty blender. I haven't put any extra product on it. I'm just using what's left over from when I did my base. And I'm using that to clean up my lower lash line and kind of make the eyeshadow more even on both sides of my face. Once I've done that, we will do my bottom lashes with mascara. Yes, this is my mascara face. If you don't have one, you're lying. I'm sorry. That's just... it's a fact of life. If you do mascara, you have a mascara face. And now I'm just like dusting off excess powder from my face with a big fluffy brush. Next, we're taking that same setting spray I used earlier, the Makeup Revolution Hydra Matte, and I'm just gonna spray that all over my face to set my face. And next, we're using my all-time favorite lipstick, the Black Moon Cosmetics lipstick in Sleepwalker. It's a little bit pricey. It costs $18 US, but I promise you it's one of the best black lipsticks on the market. And it's really opaque, and it goes on really nicely, and once it dries down, it doesn't even really feel like it's there, which is always a huge plus for me. And if I eat with it on, it doesn't come off except for maybe a little bit in the middle, and that's expected with all lipsticks pretty much. Now, as you can see, I overline my lips a lot, which is primarily because I have very small lips, and I just feel like it would look weird if I only did my lips and didn't overline it a little bit. I got lipstick on my hand, which I'm kind of clumsy, so that happens a lot. Thanks for watching. Bye!